Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Beshear is recommending a temporary cancellation of church services in response to the coronavirus.
And many Kentucky schools are trying to put plans in place to protect the health of students as many get ready to travel for spring break or even come back.
And we go to Corbin, where one hospital has joined a growing list of facilities imposing restrictions on visitation.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 2 minutes after 6. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Lacey Roberts.
Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning on this Thursday, March the 12th. And Lacey, if you have not pulled your hair out at everything going on yet,
you should start.
Yeah, but you should also rev up and be ready for anything today, especially severe weather as we head into the nighttime hours. Let's bring Brandon in. Brandon, we're in a severe weather alert day. We pulled the trigger yesterday because of just how serious things are starting to grow on that front today.
Exactly, and they issued a marginal risk from the Storm Prediction Center on Tuesday. So that's how long that we've been kind of keeping an eye on this system, and then went to slight yesterday, and then now overnight the southern, like south central and western Kentucky now an enhanced. That I don't expect that to move east, but we are under that slight risk. Let's take a look and see what's going on this morning. Live pinpoint Doppler radar still fairly quiet at the moment, so no major issues so far. Temperatures a little cooler. I think that's lack of cloud cover, and that's not going to help us later today, especially if we see some early sunshine that ramps those temperatures up quickly and creates some energy in the atmosphere, instability. We see temperatures across the state and region. 37 is the cold spot in Cincinnati, 43 in Paducah. They look to see the brunt of that there in Bowling Green this morning as well, and going into the afternoon and evening hours. 50 there in Bowling Green, 53 here in Hazard, 54 in Nashville. They're also right there on the borderline of that enhanced risk. Part of the metro is in that enhanced risk to the north there. So thoughts and prayers go out to our neighbors down that way, still recovering from severe weather last week. The forecast for us here at home: some clouds, some sunshine early, storms build in late, and they could hang around through the nighttime hours as well. We'll track all that for you coming up here in a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, let's focus on Kentucky's coronavirus for a second. 11 people were tested for COVID-19 yesterday, and there are no new cases. The governor says that every current patient is in stable condition. We also learned one COVID-19 patient in Jefferson County, that's Louisville, is now out of the hospital and in home isolation. He also touched on the steps the NCAA has taken with no fans in the stands. He says he understands and agrees with the decision.
That everybody is in stable condition, and we actually hope here in the next couple days that one of our Harrison County residents will be fully out of the woods, no longer infectious.
Well,
sorry.
No,
Lacey, your turn.
We both want to tell you that one of the many recommendations that Governor Andy Beshear announced yesterday was also to cancel church services.
This was just a recommendation, especially focusing on the older populations that you see in many of those churches. This coming ahead of Wednesday night's church services and, of course, Sunday worship. WYMT's Madison Pergram went and talked to pastors in their area to get their reaction to the recommendation.
Churches open their doors every Sunday for services, but Governor Andy Beshear is now encouraging churches to reconsider services this Sunday over the coronavirus.
Our plan right now is to talk to city officials and then talk to some medical professionals who actually attend our church, get their opinion, and spend the next day or so in prayer and make a decision as we get closer to the weekend.
Mark Holmes is the pastor of the Summit Community Church. He says plans are in place to take care of their congregation.
We're taking more cleaning precautions.
From cleaning the kids area 3 times each Sunday. Doorknobs,
Handles, things that people touch a lot, those get wiped down.
And that is the same for many churches in the area.
In our church services, we're going to be providing, of course, hand sanitizer, and we always encourage folks to stay at home if they've got a virus or they're running a fever.
Tim Reynolds, pastor at Hazard First Baptist Church, says as of now, services are continuing with some possible minor adjustments.
We do have a handshaking time, and we may ramp that back for a Sunday or two, just until this passes.
But for both pastors, one thing remains clear.
There are questions, there are concerns, but in all of it, there's hope. And we can have that hope in the person of Jesus.
God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. He's given us a spirit of power and of love and of sound mind. We need to use our minds, of course.
There is hope in times of uncertainty. In Hazard, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Again, we cannot stress this enough. It was a recommendation to protect those 60 and older at churches. Both of the churches say this is a fluid situation, and if the circumstance is to change, they will take that into consideration.
And in efforts to protect our college students, several universities across the state are moving classes online for the next several weeks. After students return from spring break on March 23rd, UK is shifting all of its courses online for 2 weeks. The university will remain open, and school administrators said the goal is to resume normal classes April 6th. Meanwhile, Louisville made a similar move, and Western Kentucky is extending their spring break.
Now, Frontier Nursing campus orientations next week in Hayden are suspended. Instead, the Frontier Nursing bound orientations will be done virtually March 16th through the 19th. The next scheduled on-site campus session is the 5th of April. Decisions about future events will be made at a later date.
And Marshall University is putting plans in place to keep student and faculty safe. All in-person classes will be suspended beginning next week. That will last through April 13th, but could be extended longer. Information on how to complete classes virtually will be sent out by professors.
Well, officials with the University of Virginia's College at Wise announced Wednesday that they would offer classes online for possibly the remainder of the semester due to the growing concerns about the virus. In an email Wednesday, school officials said that faculty will be given a week to prepare courses online and will need to switch to online instruction by March 23rd. UVA Wise officials will revisit the issue of whether to stay with online courses on April 5th. You can find more details on the school's plan on our website at WYMT.com.
And some good news with this virus going on. We have an update of Bell County native and former UK women basketball star Macy Morris. Her mom posted on Facebook that she is expected to be back in the United States later today. Morris was stuck in Italy, where the country suspended Morris's professional basketball season. Currently, they are on a complete lockdown, and people can be fined or end up in jail if not meeting government demands.
The coronavirus has caused a number of organizations to go without fans. The biggest one right now that's affecting the Big Blue Nation is the SEC tournament in Nashville. Earlier yesterday evening, the SEC announced that starting today, they would hold the SEC tournament games with, quote, only essential staff, limited family, and credentialed media in attendance at Bridgestone Arena. That means that all 5 power conferences from Thursday on will not have any fans in the stands. They've done the same for the NCAA tournament.
And the 2020 KHSAA Girls Sweet 16 tournament started yesterday. And just like many other associations, the board has been looking at what their next step should be. Commissioner Julian Tackett addressed the media after the 3rd game of the tournament due to the questions and concerns the league was faced with.
Our plans right now are that we are gathering data tonight and tomorrow morning. We are scheduled to talk with our Department of Education again in the morning, and likely with the governor's office, who has asked for us to be involved in the conversation and looking at alternative plans. Yes, those plans could go into effect as early as Friday. And yes, those plans would impact more than just the girls' tournament.
Tackett said that specific plans have not been set yet, but playing the tournament without fans is better than not playing at all. He also went on to say that postponing the tournament would be hard due to contract obligations with Rupp Arena and the KHSAA spring schedule.
Well, as many take precautions to stop the spread of the coronavirus, Baptist Health in Corbin has activated temporary visitor restrictions.
Visitation will be limited to immediate family only. WYMT's Emily Bennett talked with hospital officials about these restrictions.
The coronavirus has not entered eastern Kentucky, but this hospital is taking every health measure possible.
Out of an abundance of caution for our elderly population, patients, and our visitors and staff.
The hospital is activating temporary visitor restrictions.
Typically we have no restrictions, it's pretty open.
But now the emergency department, as well as all other adult units, will only allow 2 immediate family visitors at a time. And in the NICU, only parents and grandparents are allowed.
Limiting those number of visitors down, it's really the best for our patients, and we hope everybody understands that and adheres to those guidelines.
Anthony Powers says the rooms usually are packed with 8 to 10 people.
Eastern Kentucky's a very family culture, and so we will see aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, mother, fathers.
But those rooms will not be full again until they see the risk drop.
Probably at least through the months of March and April.
Encouraging all those who feel sick to call the state hotline.
They actually will walk you through a screening questionnaire, and then they will direct you where to go for care.
Helping you get care without infecting other people.
That was Emily Bennett reporting. Hospital officials are still saying the best preventative measure is to wash your hands frequently. They encourage family not to visit loved ones in the hospital if they are feeling under the weather.
And as concerns for those gathering in close spaces grows, one nurse in Perry County is worried for her own family. Kim Williams is a certified nurse assistant at Shavy's Medical Clinic. Taking care of sick patients all day does have her taking extra precautions before going home, not only for the safety of her children, but for her parents who watch her youngest. Her father is her main concern as he has chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which causes shortness of breath.
She's exposed my mother and my father who has COPD. You know, my father is at risk of the coronavirus because of his breathing issues. I worry more for him because of his age and his health problems.
Again, Williams says at the Chavis Clinic, she takes no chances. Before she leaves work, she changes her clothes, washes her hands, and washes them again when she enters her home.
Well, join us at 7 o'clock tonight for Coronavirus, a community conversation.
We will be featuring various health and community leaders about the virus, how it is transmitted, and the impact on our community. And that's live at 7 right here on WYMT.
So this could be a regional severe weather event as we head deeper into the daytime hours. Let's take a look. I zoomed it out a little bit so you can kind of see the severe outlook for basically the entire state and some of the surrounding states. Of course, we're looking at Nashville. That's right there on the line of the enhanced and slight risk. Again, they were hard hit last week due to all those tornadoes, 7 tornadoes in total. Bowling Green, Paducah, Evansville, Carbondale, Illinois. So all those folks are in the enhanced risk, which is 3 out of 5. That's a pretty high risk for this early in the year, but you see all of us here in the mountains under that slight risk later today, and except for those eastern counties, far eastern counties, under a marginal risk. So everybody in the area under some kind of severe weather risk today. This morning, quiet, temperatures in the 40s and 50s, and some of those cooler spots is because of lack of cloud cover. Some spots are anywhere between 2 and 7 degrees colder this morning than they were this time yesterday. Wise and Jackson up a degree or 2, and basically 70s where we're heading today. Some sunshine early, which of course is thunderstorm fuel, and then we'll see those storms develop as we head deeper into the night. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. And thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way.
That's right. Coming up, we'll show you how officials are taking steps to help keep children healthy as coronavirus concerns continue to grow.